In our Sunrise Smart Start, we're going live to Washington, D.C. as the Senate prepares to vote on a bill to protect access to abortions amid the Supreme Court's leaked draft opinion.
We are joined by Washington correspondent Rashad Hudson this morning live in D.C. Rashad, good morning. This is a Democratic bill. Do Democrats expect it to pass, and how are Republicans responding?
Hey, good morning. Democrats are hoping that the bill will pass, but it's certain that it will fail given that Republicans have the votes to block it. But Democrats say this is about trying to see where each senator stands on the issue of abortion. Now, there's been other votes taken in the Senate regarding abortion, but they've been unsuccessful in the past. But Senator Chuck Schumer is hoping that he can get some type of Republican support. Now, there are some Republicans, some moderate Republicans that support abortion protections, but not this particular legislation. They're more interested in trying to codify Roe v. Wade that's currently, being challenged there in the Supreme Court with the current leaked draft that we've all been aware of.
And Rashad, will this have any impact on this year's midterm elections?
Well, it's certainly going to be a difficult vote for each senator, regardless to where they stand on this issue. They'll have to go back to their home states and defend their position. But Democrats are hoping that if it fails or passes, it will help them in terms of going into the midterms, meaning it could drive up their base, which is what they're hoping it will do.
Well, we'll definitely be watching this closely, Rashad. Thank you. And a final decision from the Supreme Court is expected in late June or early July. Well, in local news, the Rochester City School Board approving a budget of nearly $1 billion. That vote passing 4-3.
A narrow margin there. We are getting mixed reaction to this from both parents and students as well. Erica Cost is live at the Board of Ed with what you need to know. Erica, good morning.
Good morning. The district says this reflects their commitment to students and their success. But as you mentioned, some disagree. There were parents and teachers rallying yesterday saying they want more transparency with language in the budget. They're also calling for things like more teacher diversity as well as access to social programs. Some of the budget highlights include funding for more social workers, $3 million in food services to upgrade meal options, 30 different summer programs, additional support for English language learners and students with disabilities. The district says in a statement the budget provides an opportunity to maintain healthy fund balance while ensuring fiscal stability and responsibility. We spoke to one board member who voted no.
Unfortunately, the budget this year, the entire process was not transparent, and voting tonight should not be this difficult. When we're voting on almost $1 billion, we should know exactly how this budget is serving students and families. It has been perhaps the most tumultuous, difficult budget season I've ever had to deal with as a commissioner in the last 5 years.
Now, a state moderator has been weighing in on this process. They say the budget has come a long way, but they'll continue to keep an eye on it in the coming days. In Rochester, Erica Cost, News 8.
Erica, thank you. We have a statement from the district about that budget passing. It's online at rochesterfirst.com. Well, a person of interest in the Brittany Drexel case is in custody. Have a look here. Raymond Moody has been charged with obstructing justice. Now, at this point, it's not clear whether this is connected to the Drexel case. Brittany's father, Chad Drexel, speaking with News 8 about this, saying they are still waiting to hear from the FBI. Drexel was a 17-year-old from Chili who disappeared while on vacation in Myrtle Beach back in 2009. The mystery surrounding her disappearance remains open more than a decade later. Disappearance and death, I should say.
A Rochester man charged with murder in connection to a shooting last month appearing in court. 33-year-old Darrell Griffin was arraigned yesterday on second-degree murder charges and criminal possession of a weapon. Police say Griffin shot and killed 32-year-old Amar Hewley on West Main Street on April 24th. Officers say Griffin was out of prison for a 2016 conviction, but in January, when he pleaded guilty to a drug charge, he was not sent back behind bars.
The man who raped and murdered a 14-year-old Penfield girl back in 1962 has now been granted parole. James Moore is now 88. He's expected to be released from prison next month. He'd been sent to prison for life after strangling Pamela Moss. Monroe County District Attorney Sandra Dorley says the parole board's decision flies in the face of what Moss's family had agreed to when they allowed him to avoid the death penalty and plead guilty, agreeing to life in prison without the possibility of parole. But again, he is going to be released from prison.
Well, James, if you're planning on biking or walking to work, it's going to be a good morning for that.
Yes, certainly. Or just trying to get out to a little exercise before you have to head in. I saw a lot of bikers over the past 24 hours out there getting some wind in the face. I love it. Starting off around 50 degrees, certainly sunglasses worthy. Warm start, we will say. Nice finish. Temperatures climb likely into the upper 70s to near 80. Certainly a little bit cooler along Lake Ontario as we get that lake breeze fired up yet again today. I've got 80s in the extended forecast, and we'll do a bus stop forecast at the end of the show. Mark Kelly.
All right, James, thank you. Checking the roads again with our sunrise traffic. Smooth sailing on 390, 490, and 590 at this hour, though, as you can see, volume beginning to build in along 490.
Well, from around the state, congressional primaries in New York have been pushed back to August. A federal judge approving the move to change the primaries to August 23rd. The primaries were moved after redrawn redistricting maps were determined to be unconstitutional. The state is still holding primary elections for governor and the state assembly in June.
Congressman Tom Reed announcing his resignation from Congress. While it will take effect immediately, a statement from his office says he'll continue to serve the Southern Tier district until the end of the year or until a new representative is selected. Reed had previously said he would not seek re-election after accusations he groped a lobbyist back in 2017. We're told Reed will be joining the Prime Policy Group, which describes itself as a bipartisan government relations and public affairs firm.
Well, in the wake of the leaked Supreme Court draft ruling that would overturn Roe v. Wade, Governor Kathy Hochul announcing $35 million in funding for abortion service providers. It would be the largest fund of its kind in the country and would use emergency funds from the Commissioner of Health. The governor says she wants this money to be available the second Roe v. Wade is overturned, if that does end up happening.
All right, a man hospitalized after what police are calling a serious assault in Bath, Steuben County. It happened around 8:45 Monday night at the Holland American Hotel along State Route 415. When troopers arrived, they found 33-year-old Jonathan Ruggles been assaulted by 41-year-old Jose Velez. Both men reside at that hotel. Ruggles was airlifted to the hospital with life-threatening injuries. Velez has been charged with burglary and criminal possession of a weapon, although more charges are pending in this case. Here's what some folks will be talking about at the water cooler this morning. Actor James Cromwell, known for his roles in Babe and the TV show Succession, glued his hand to a Starbucks counter. This was yesterday, all in protest of the coffee chain's extra charge for plant-based milk. The act was live-streamed by fellow protesters on Facebook. Starbucks says it respects customers' rights to voice their opinions so long as they do not disrupt store operations. Cromwell eventually scraped his hand off the counter with a knife. Eesh.
That's one way to do it.
Yes. We have seen this before. There was a basketball game where a woman had glued herself to a chair, or didn't that just happen?
I don't know. That one does not ring a bell.
I got to stop bringing things up that I only know partial part of. But good for him. He's got a cause, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And he's got his hand back, too.
He's got his hand back. If we're maybe grabbing some coffee, getting to the bus stop, we've got temperatures starting off around 50 degrees. A lovely start, I should say, for a lovely day. Mostly sunny skies. So upper 70s today. I won't rule out 80. It could be possible, but 80 much more likely tomorrow and Friday as well. Cooler along Lake Ontario. The storms return. I think both Saturday and Sunday there will be a threat for storms. Better chance for Sunday along the cold front that sweeps through. So we keep the streak going. You know, I still think Thursday probably going to be the best day of the week, which is crazy to say because of how amazing this week has been so far.
Well, we're looking forward to it, James. All of it. So
yes.
Thank you very much.
Yes, right. Lilac Fest still looks pretty good, even with the storm chances this weekend.
All right. Going to be a good weekend, too. All right. Thanks, James, and thank you so much for watching News 8 at Sunrise.
Our next update is coming up in about 30 minutes. CBS Mornings is up next. Have a great Wednesday.